Righto, it is a Wednesday afternoon. We're up on Christmas Island for a holiday. We've got a 6x800m session to do. It was meant to be 8x800m, but I'm actually feeling pretty cooked. So we shortened it by 2 reps. 2k warm up and cool down. We're going to head down to the cove and run from there because it's the only real place that's kind of flat. Have Hannah with me on the bike. So yeah, it's going to be good. I've just taken a shot of Maple-Aid, which is just pure maple syrup. Get some glucose into me. Try refuel. We've got the Metaspeed Edge Paris on foot. We're going to have to wear that for the warm-up because there's no real way to change out shoes. They're not super comfortable for that. But yeah, goal pace for those reps. Smithy said 3:15s. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I might try for 3:20s. And then I guess if I'm still feeling good, then I always have the option to add on those extra 2 reps again midway through the session. So yeah, we're just about to drive down and we'll get into it. Down at the cove right now, some gentle rain coming across. It's been raining all day. The road's absolutely soaked. But that does mean that it's a little bit less humid, or it's still humid, but a little bit cooler. So hopefully I should be able to get through these reps feeling okay. 2k warm up, we have to come out of the cove, so a bit of elevation gain, but we'll get it on the way back. Gonna do a straight out and back loop. Out past the settlement along the golf course road. Yeah. These Metaspeed Edge Paris did not feel good during the warm-up. You get a couple of super shoes, they're a bit softer, a bit smoother, and you can kind of use them for easy running, even though you probably shouldn't, but you can do your warm-up, jump straight into the session, which is good if you're doing something like an out and back, where you can't really, you can't really run the whole way with a pair of easy running shoes in your back pocket. But yeah, these are definitely firm and fast. They're something that you chuck on for your fast running, and you get them off as soon as possible afterwards because they do beat you up a bit, which is not a bad thing. They're meant to run fast, and it's also kind of nice to have a shoe which does feel like it's working you a little bit, but it's not going to be for everyone, that's for sure. That's 2k there. I think today I'm going to take my warm-up really seriously because I don't want to cook myself out. We'll do my 2x300 meters at 10k pace, and then I'll hop into my 800s.
I swear he wasn't like this when we first started dating. I thought he was going to be a footy boy. Got a bit stitched up.
So that 2x300 meters, for those who don't know, is a little thing I've picked up for my warm-up where you spike the heart rate, get things moving before you start the session. So now I'll do my drills and stuff, and hopefully by the time I arrive at my session, when my first rep goes down, I'm not absolutely huffing and puffing, just a little bit more ready, which has been really nice. Doesn't seem to add any real fatigue to my session, but I can kind of get into the swing of things just that little bit easier. So yeah, 2x300, about 10k pace, and then 60 seconds rest in between that. And then now we hop into some drills. Okay, 6x800, we'll do a minute rest in between. If we feel good, we'll push on, do an extra 2. But right now, I'm not feeling all that flash, so we'll probably stick to the 6. 3:20 average pace, I think we'll be happy with. Anything below that, just a bonus. We'll see how we go. Yeah. First rep done, 320s. Felt okay. Definitely hoping the breathing will get back down, but overall fairly smooth. This road is closed to vehicles because of crabs, so don't have to dodge any utes, which is nice. Metaspeed Edge does feel nice underfoot, but if you're not really feeling on, like super fresh, definitely feels like you have to put a bit more work in, which is, no, it's not the worst, but sometimes when you are feeling sore, it's nice to have something which is just a bit more helpful, a bit more forgiving. You stinky punches, though.
Yeah.
About 320 there as well. Breathing is still up. Don't really know what to do about that. I think that section was a little bit uphill. We'll say that. So maybe it'll be better on the way back. Definitely struggling to adapt to this humidity. I thought it would come a bit quicker, but I've been here for about 11 days and it hasn't really got much better. Swapping hot and dry in Perth on the farm to hot and wet at the same time is just, oh, it's brutal. .320 there as well. Hanging on. I think this next half is going to be downhill as well. 8 is not happening. Nah. That's all I got in me. I give up. I'm not mentally strong enough. Sometimes you got to be strong enough to keep going. Sometimes you got to be strong enough to know your limits.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good for YouTube. I'm actually cooked. Oh, yep, survival mode. Oh, 327. Officially blown up. I'll take another 40 seconds. Give myself a little bit of grace to get this thing back on track. Oh, my guts are trying to kill me.
Billy boy had 2 coffees today.
2 coffees. A mango lassi does not sit well in the stomach. Haven't had curry though. That is an improvement. Curry for breakfast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You!
Right, that's that done. Have a sit down for a bit, catch my breath. 4.8 k's of volume, I think. No, what's 6 times 8? Let's get this 2k jog done. Really hope this camera hasn't got a bit of moisture in the cap. That would be a shame. And that'll do. My golly, really just has knocked me back how long it's taken me to even get close to adapting to this heat. Like, I really thought I'd be all good within the week, but I think every session that I've had, I've either cooked it in the last 2 reps or just completely cooked it early on. Have had a little bit of sickness, which is my one excuse that I'll rely on a little bit, but just can't be underestimated how much this humidity plays in. We'll have a look at the splits right now, see what we actually came out with. Okay, so 2K warm up and cool down with those 300-meter reps. I do still think that that extra 2 strides does help with that first rep adaptation. There's no more of this kind of shock effect when you're kind of getting into it. You can really settle in a little bit easier. So in terms of my splits, first rep 320, 320, 320, 323, 327, brought it back with 321. I think I'm pretty happy with the fact that I dialed that back. 315s would have been unmanageable, let alone 8 of them. So I think 6 with a 320 kind of goal pace was the right choice there. Average heart rate of 170 across the entire session. I'm glad I took that extra 40 seconds of rest on that last rep. Meant that we could get it down to, so at the end of that final rep we were 185, or second last rep we were 185, and then at the start of the final rep we got it back down to 140, and so again we got back up to 185, but only at the very end of that final rep. So that was a good choice there from me. I'm glad that I took that extra rest. Metaspeed Edge Paris, I'm still really enjoying, but maybe it's kind of got its limits in terms of comfortability and kind of agreeability, I'd say. Some of those shoes that you chuck on, they just feel like they're magic for whatever pace you want to run. This one is definitely quite picky. It wants to be going at 10K, half marathon pace when my legs are fresh, but when they're not fresh, it really is quite unruly, quite harsh, which I'm not going to hold against the shoe. It's a racing shoe. I am using it for a session. I'm not always going to feel on my A game, and if I was using this for a 5-10 half marathon, I'm sure it'd feel great. But yeah, something to note there. So that's my last session on Christmas Island. I absolutely love it up here. The holidaying is unreal, but the running here, it's just not great. The humidity's too much. There's not many tracks which you can run which are smooth and fast and flat. You have to cop a fair bit of elevation if you want to go and see something new. So as much as I love it here, I probably couldn't live here, but for a short holiday, it's nice to try something a bit different. Gonna go for a swim, grab something to eat. Yeah, that's it.